we're starting with a gray-brown eyeliner. I'm just gonna sketch out a winged liner. I'm gonna sharpen that with my brow tint. Okay, next I'm gonna use a cool tone brown from the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette. It's the shade You Rock. Oh, but I need to give you guys an apartment update. You guys remember that apartment I was talking about a few years ago that I lived in? If you didn't watch that video, I was basically living in an apartment that was not the safest. I saw bloody elevators, somebody died and they like wouldn't tell the tenants. Anyway, I got an update and apparently somebody else died there. I got this update like honestly a while ago from somebody who still lived there. Like somebody jumped off of their balcony, or they claimed that they did, but then they flipped over the body and there was a knife in the person's back. Next, let's curl our lashes. Honestly, sometimes I think about moving back to LA because it would just be more convenient for me. But then I really remember the times when I lived in LA. It's just not for me. I think I'm just not a city girl. For lashes today, we're gonna do a different set of individuals. So usually I do just the spiky ones, but today I added a few wisps in between. I'm using like 3 different lengths of lashes. These I'm gonna use in the front side. Then we're gonna move on to this one in the outer corner. And then we're gonna use these for the wisps. The thing with these is you have to try really hard not to blink while the glue dries. Moving on to the other set of lashes, I'm gonna take a thicker lash for the outer corner. You can see this versus this. Next, I'm taking the wispier lashes. These ones, they're just not spiky, they're like flared. And I'm just gonna place those right in between the other ones. This is the Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Recovery Serum. And then I wanna use this new Fenty Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint I got. So what I've been doing recently is I've been using skin tints mixed with concealer as foundation instead, which honestly, it probably just creates the same coverage as like a light to medium coverage foundation. But I feel like when I mix things together, they just create the perfect shade. I'm actually getting ready for something that's happening tonight. It's my friend's birthday party, but I want to go shopping and stuff, so I have to get ready like super early. It's like, honestly, it's like 10 a.m. right now and the party starts at 7 p.m. I slept at like 4 a.m. last night and I woke up at 8 a.m. And to make my quality of sleep even worse than it was, I slept on the floor. When I know that the next day I need to wake up early, I sleep on the floor so that I'm uncomfortable, so that when my alarm goes off, I want to get up. I don't know if anybody else does this. It's like, honestly, it's not that bad because like I have a rug, it's kind of comfortable, but it's uncomfortable enough where I'm like, you know, I want to get up in the morning. I'm not liking how this is looking. I feel like this might be too drying for my skin because it is a blurring skin tint and I feel like it's like flaking. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remove it. I'm gonna have to reapply the serum too then. You know, I find that moisturizers and serums are just way better primers than actual primers. They have like the sticky, tacky base. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my Lancome Tante Idole Ultra Wear Care and Glow. This, honestly, I wouldn't say is a skin tint. It's more of a skin tint foundation hybrid. And then I'm gonna take the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Swan. Honestly, I feel like this year I've gained a lot of clarity in terms of friendships, relationships. I've learned a lot about myself. For a long time, I was trying to force myself to film and edit vlogs instead of makeup tutorials, just because that's like what the trend was. I literally was trashing everything because I would sit down, I wouldn't like it, and then I'd film something else and then would push back editing it because I didn't like it. And I've never had this many incomplete projects before. I think I'm just an overall happier person when I'm not thinking about what other people are doing too. I mean, that probably applies to everybody, but yeah, I don't know how I fell into it, like trying to do what everybody else was doing. I know a lot of people enjoy vlogs too, and I like watching vlogs too, but I just think makeup is the best and the funnest for me. And then for other clarity, I cut off one friend this year. And honestly, cutting off people is very uncommon for me. But this person I actually confronted about it. And I said, like, you know, I can't be friends with you anymore, because they had been speaking about me in a way that made me extremely uncomfortable. This was my first ever straight male friend, and it scarred me enough to make me feel like I don't want to have straight male friends ever again. I think I usually get along with girls better anyway though. I'm using the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder in the shade Rose. This is their highlighting powder, and I actually like it a lot. It looks like a little pinky, but it's not super tinted. It's just slightly brightening. But yeah, for me, I think I'm just a girl's girl. I feel like there's this misconception that girls are difficult to get along with. I have no idea where that even came from, because girls are so simple to be friends with. Like, have you ever called a girl cute? And this isn't like in a flirtatious or romantic way either. Like, just literally call her cute. I don't know how exactly to describe it, but there's this shared shyness, but like happiness mingled into one emotion, and it'll make them so happy, like you guys are immediate friends. Anyway, I'm using the Kaleidos Symphony Contour Trio in light. But yeah, that's another thing I've noticed in my 20s is it's so hard to make and maintain friendships, especially since everybody has like their own jobs. Everybody's graduated now, so it's a lot harder to make the time to see each other. Like, you actually have to put a lot of effort into it, especially if you have friends like long distance friends. Even like non-long distance friendships is hard for me to maintain nowadays. I feel like we're all on our own individual self-healing journeys. Okay, so going back to the eyes, I'm actually gonna smoke out the lower lash line with the shade You Rock. Next, taking a tiny brush, we're gonna dip into a darker brown eyeshadow and then start creating a line from the lower lash line. Do a parallel line right around here. It's not exactly right here, it's like halfway between those two lines. And then blend it all together. I'm also gonna take the dark brown eyeshadow and then smoke out the wing. And then take the same gray brown eyeliner. Starting from here, just barely touch the inner section. You're not going in, you're going this way. So hold it here and then go this way. And then make sure to set the gel liner with a eyeshadow. If you deal with your inner corner smudging a lot, it might be because you're not setting it with eyeshadow. Because imagine like if you didn't set your foundation, it would smudge also. So this is a gel liner, not a self-setting matte liquid liner. Next, let's curl our lower lashes. And then I'm using the same mascara. I'm going to take a nude liner and then just highlight right here and right here. We're gonna use double eyelet tape. I'm gonna take one strip and then cut it in half, and then place it on the outer fold. And I'm using the Clio Prism highlighter. For lips, I'm first using the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Wherever Walnut. And then I'm gonna contour my lips with the Peri Para Wine Nude Lip Liner. Clarins Water Lip Stain. It's definitely too pink. I just mix a bunch. Oh, I think we're getting there. I want it a little more nude, so I'm gonna apply a little bit of concealer and then smudge out the lips. I'm using the Flower Nose Classic Ballet Blush. This blush is so pretty. I'm just stamping that right underneath the eyes. And then after I finish with the brush, I'm gonna go in with my fingers, and this is how I've noticed that I can get my blush to last longer. Make sure you're being very selective about placement here, because this is gonna last a very long time. Finishing touches, I'm gonna add some beauty marks. I really like putting it on my chin because I feel like it makes it look longer. Like where you place your beauty marks can really contour your face. Like you don't want to add them too far out on your face because it's gonna emphasize that area and make it look wider. So putting it here makes your eyes maybe look bigger. Final finishing touch is eyebrow gel. So I'm gonna use a setting spray. Spray the eyebrow gel. This is from Lottie London. I'm gonna take a spoolie. This is the completed look. My first cool toned makeup look. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like me, remember to follow me on all my social media, which will be linked in the description box down below. And I will see you in my next video. Don't need to sit down and talk. Already know what you are.